I'm Joey Tedesco, and you're watching the Cartoon Palooza. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different and going out of my comfort zone and talking about anime. And I can imagine people thinking two different ways. Some people thinking, Joey, this is America. What are you, some otaku or something? Talk about American cartoons. While other people going, what do you know? What are you, some sort of casual? Ugh. Listen, I've talked about it in an editorial before. There shouldn't be this level of entitlement between something we all equally love and enjoy. If you got those comments, keep them in your pocket. Just like Mark from The Room.
Open the door! Open!
No, that's the wrong room. That's room, not the room. It's whatever. We're talking about your name. Our movie centers around a classic setup that's been done in movies before, most notably Freaky Friday, in which two people switch bodies and have to walk in each other's shoes for the day or two. My personal favorite take on the Freaky Friday setup is Face Off, mostly in the novelty of seeing John Travolta and Nicolas Cage play each other in a John Woo movie. However, the body switching brings together our two main characters hoping to eventually meet one another, so it's a Freaky Friday setup with a love angle. One is a city kid whose reputation indicates that he's somewhat of a smart aleck, while the other one is a sweeter girl from a rural part of the country. What's interesting is how they attempt to communicate with one another. They use notes through paper and text to help each other, while also getting tips from their friends circle and their respective personalities so it doesn't seem like they're separate people. And as you'd imagine, when it comes to switching genders, the thing that happens that most people get worried about is checking to see if everything is in check. Now, the frequency of them switching places is inconsistent, so one minute they're in their own bodies and in the other they're switched. This gives the characters time to process how it was that they ended up in each other's bodies while keeping us, the viewers, engaged. At some point, the movie focuses on the boy's perspective and his attempt to find the girl through clues she's left. What happens next is impossible for me to discuss without spoiling the movie, and unfortunately I don't want to do that. This is the kind of movie that will make it more enjoyable if you put the pieces together and take the twist from a fresh start. Now, in regards to the body switching, I know a lot of people have said that that's considered a spoiler. I'm going to argue that it isn't, because first of all, it's on the back of the box. If they're going to advertise it, why is that going to be considered a spoiler? Another is its significance in setting up our two main characters' romance. Much like taking a trope like a switcheroo that's been done in films before, the movie manages to take the conventions of romantic films, like the two are polar opposites through trial and error, to find ways to appreciate one another. And eventually they fall for one another. Another aspect I feel I can't comment on is its use of time as a cinematic way of telling its story. Part of what I love about the work of Christopher Nolan is his sense of time. He writes his movies around the concept of time, people's perception of time, and how it's different among different people. It's done perfectly in his movies like Inception, Memento, and Dunkirk. On a side note, part of why I dislike The Dark Knight Rises when looked upon his filmography is because of this reason. There's no clear sense of time and pace in that movie, and it's often meticulously looked at in his other films. Going back to the movie Your Name, time is an important concept that makes me feel the filmmakers were influenced by the work of Christopher Nolan. A lot of repetition and scenes built around when a certain event takes place and how it impacts the characters we're watching. I'm not going to say it's a straight up love letter to Christopher Nolan, in that it's a non-linear narrative, but it does capture how being a different person in a different place or time is going to impact the story. Now, granted, a lot of people have complained that Christopher Nolan has ripped off anime, but that's a discussion for another time. In short, Your Name is a delightful drama that makes me understand why many people have taken a liking to it. Currently, the filmmakers at Bad Robot want to adapt Your Name into a live-action feature. And considering how great all the live-action adaptations of anime have been, all I gotta say is, good luck, guys. Until then, you can check out Your Name on video for its stunning animation, music, and story, as I think this is definitely a worth it movie. In regards to the film's use of the cliche of the switcheroo, comment below and let me know which is your favorite use of the switcheroo in TVs and movies. I'm Joey Tedesco, and thanks for watching this review on the Cartoon Palooza.